welcome to our English news edition coming to you from Canal, Algérie. Coming up next. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, receives the French Interior Minister, Gérald Darmanin. As part of the International Arabic Day, the event is celebrated in Algeria to consolidate its position shadowed by the globalization challenges. The Makhzen regime at the heart of another scandal within the European Parliament with bribe attempts to conceal facts regarding the Western Saharan issue. And good news for tourists with a new flight linking Paris to Tassili Niger, a top destination for desert lovers from all around the world. Good evening, those were the headlines. First, and the beginning is with the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, who held a phone call with the Qatari Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, during which he congratulated him on the occasion of Qatar's National Day, wishing more prosperity and progress. He also seized this opportunity to congratulate him as well for the telling success in the holding of the FIFA World Cup of 2022. For his part, the Qatari Emir expressed his gratitude for President Tebboune for these noble feelings and wished him all the best for the Algerian people. The President of the Republic also received on Sunday in the capital Algiers the Interior French Minister Gérald Darmanin. The audience took place at the Presidency of the Republic in the presence of the Interior Minister Ibrahim Merad. Following the audience, the French Minister of Interior made the following statement.
La demande du président de la République française, Emmanuel Macron.
In the wake of his visit to Algeria, accompanied by a ministerial delegation, the President of the French Republic, Emmanuel Macron, tasked me to visit Algeria, following the invitation of the Algerian Interior Minister. We had a very important meeting that reflects the French will for cooperation, following the exchanges between President Tebboune and President Macron in terms of cooperation in the security field. Pursuant to the French Presidency's demand, we resumed our consular relation that existed before the COVID-19 pandemic, a relation up to the friendly relation between France and Algeria. I thank the President of the Algerian Democratic Republic for his welcome, for his exchange, and for the warm welcome of the General Directors that accompanied me on Sunday.
In a related activity, the Minister of Interior, Ibrahim Merad, discussed with his French counterpart, Gérald Darmanin, issues related to the two countries' interior sector, in addition to ways and means to consolidate bilateral cooperation in the sector. In other news, the National People's Assembly hosted on Sunday the official ceremony marking the International Day of the Arabic language, coinciding with the 18th of each December. The event took place in the presence of the President of the National People's Assembly, Brahim Boughali, members of the government, representatives of several institutions, and other high-ranking officials. Organized under the motto, "The Contribution of Arabic in the Human Civilization and Culture," the ceremony also witnessed the presence of the advisor of the President of the Republic in charge of national education and higher education affairs, Noordin Ghouali. In his keynote speech, Boughali emphasized that Algeria looks for a real take-off and is aware of the language's role as a pillar of the national identity in consolidating social and national cohesion. Brahim Boughali installed as well the High Commission in charge of preparing the 19th session of the Islamic Cooperation Organization's Council, due to be held in Constantine on January 29th and 13th of 2023. In other news, the Minister of Industry, Ahmed Zagda, received on Sunday the Minister Delegate to the Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kenji Yamada, a meeting the aim of which is to set up an Algerian-Japanese cooperation in the sector of industry. The two parties held talks concerning the promotion of partnership and economic cooperation. They also discussed the new provisions of the investment code initiated by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune. The Industry Minister labeled this meeting as fruitful. He also announced consultations and meetings so as to inquire about the investment potentialities for the Japanese companies in Algeria, notably in the pharmaceutical and car manufacturing industries, as well as the energy sector. And Algeria is the guest of honor in the Dakar International Fair, represented by the Trade Minister Kamal Rizieq. This participation aims to promote the Algerian production in the African fairs. This fair does not only constitute an opportunity to strengthen and further develop the trade and investment relations, but also to showcase the quality of the Algerian products. In another development, the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohamed Arqab, made a statement on Sunday during which he said that Algeria was working to exploit the surplus of its electricity production and export it to Europe. This took place on the sidelines of the inauguration ceremony of the new Center for Social and Cultural Services of Sonelgaz in the capital, Algiers. Mohamed Arqab went on to add that Algeria is closely studying the project of electrical interconnection between Algeria and Europe, and that Sonelgaz has the capacity to enable it to conquer the international markets. The state attaches a particular importance to the metal and steel industry sector. A very ambitious national program is set up for the exploitation of iron from the mine of Garaj Bilat, the third largest mine in the world. More details with Najah Tayar.
These raw extracts that we see are from Garaj Bilat deposit in Tindouf. These field reserves are estimated at 3.5 billion tons, of which 1.7 billion tons are exploitable. All the analyses that were previously done at the level of African and European countries are currently carried out by the laboratories of the national company ORDM. This large-scale iron deposit, which remained unexploited for more than 70 years, has come out of the shadows thanks to the new policy of the President of the Republic. From Tindouf to Tebessa, El Wanza and Boukhadra, these large iron deposits in Algeria open up new economic prospects for the country, thanks to the new industrial strategy initiated by the state. The iron reserves are estimated at more than 140 billion tons, ready for exploitation. Totally, the Algerian-Turkish metallurgy company is achieving significant export numbers. The Batiwa complex has launched a new flat steel production project which will supply the national and the international markets. We started exporting in 2021, 1.2 million tons to 4 continents, amounting $800 million. We will produce coils and flat steel. The steel and metallurgy sector contributes greatly to the development of the national economy, with an expected 1.5 billion exports by the end of the current year.
Now let's shed light on religious tourism and the rich program worked out to the benefit of the General Caliph of Tijaniya Brotherhood in Lghawat province, days after the international conference on the famous Imam and scholar Muhammad bin Abdul Karim al-Maghili. Najah Tayar reports.
After their participation in the international conference on the Imam Muhammad bin Abdul Karim al-Maghili, a delegation composed of the descendants of the deceased, in addition to researchers and specialists in Islamic heritage from more than 20 Arab and African countries, went to Ain Madi in Lghawat province, the Tijaniya Brotherhood cradle, to visit religious places and historical monuments belonging to the Zawiya General Caliph. The city of Ain Madi in Lghawat is the cradle of Tijaniya Brotherhood, and Abu Abbas Ahmed ibn Muhammad Tijani is the founder of the Tariqa, or the order. We are a delegation from TAR on the occasion of the international conference about Mohammed bin Abdel Karim al-Maghili. The Tijaniya Brotherhood has more than 500 million followers throughout the world. It is here in Ain Madi where the scholar Ahmed bin Mohammed Tijani was born. The guests of Laghouat were warmly welcomed before heading for the ancient Qasr where Sidi Mohammed al-Habib Mosque is located, birthplace of Sidi Ahmed al-Tijani. We are very happy to visit Algeria and in particular Ain Madi. All Nigerians know the glorious history of this country and its martyrs. It is full of religious activities and scholars. Ain Madi is one of the high places of the Tariqa Tijaniya, the birthplace of Sidi Ahmed Tijani. The Tariqa has thousands of followers in Nigeria. We are very happy with the welcome we have received. The members of the delegation did not fail to highlight the contribution of the Tijaniya Brotherhood in establishing peace, particularly in Africa. This visit also enabled them to discover the rich heritage of Laghouat province thanks to the various exhibitions held on the occasion.
And Morocco is a part of a massive corruption scandal in the European Parliament. The parliamentarians confessed to being part of an organization used by the Makhzen secret services to influence the European affairs. This weekend, the former French MP José Bové revealed that he was offered bribes by the former Moroccan Minister of Agriculture, current head of government. The details with Ines Kilou.
These scandals that have shaken Morocco are countless, the latest being the resounding corruption affair involving the European Parliament, which has not failed to reiterate and strengthen its support for the Makhzen. The corruption case recently revealed by former Deputy José Bové involving the head of the Moroccan government was shocking.
Rapporteur de la Commission du commerce extérieur dans les années 2009-2014.
I was a reporter of the Commission on Foreign Trade between 2009 and 2014, and at that time I was in charge of the file of free exchange related to fruit and vegetable with Morocco. I opposed as a reporter this project because it was harmful to both sides, Moroccan and European producers. But the Moroccan Minister of Agriculture, who is today the Prime Minister, didn't accept that, so he offered me a gift in a secret way.
Ne supportant pas que je puisse m'opposer à ce projet, m'a proposé de m'amener un cadeau à Montpellier dans un café qui soit discret.
It was the Belgian Federal Prosecutor's Office which, following an investigation assigned to him, implicated about 15 MPs and revealed Rabat's involvement. The parliamentarians confessed that they were part of an organization used by the secret services of the Makhzen. The network includes MPs Antonio Panzeri, Andrea Cozzolino, and an assistant, Francesco Giorgi, who were allegedly put in contact with an agent of the intelligence and counterintelligence services based in Rabat, and a Warsaw-based diplomat, Abderrahim Atmoun, whose role is said to be essential.
D'après ce qu'on déduit des documents qu'on a pu consulter, il se présente.
According to the documents we consulted, he presented himself as the right hand of the diplomat Panzeri, the former Euro-Italian PM, and he was appointed as the presumptive head of the organization in charge of circulating the organization's cash.
He
explained that money came from Morocco to Europe via Mr. Panzeri. Nevertheless, the General Director of the Studies and Documentation General Directorate, Mansour Yassin, seems to be the direct link to the European Parliament. Francesco Giorgi, the companion of one of the Parliament's vice presidents, the Greek Eva Kaili, who was arrested to be part of an organization used by Morocco to interfere with and influence European affairs. If the organization in question has the role of managing cash, it is just an instrument to ease the agent's practices through interfering in the European Parliament and in key positions in the community institutions. This was done through meetings, interviews and dinners with the highest officials of the secret services in Rabat.
Let's listen now to Anna Miranda Path, a European Parliament member who has more serious revelations about this scandal, which keeps jolting the Makhzen regime.
The participation in this program is to denounce the interference of Morocco in the European Parliament decisions. We have reviewed pieces of information about some MPs who have influenced the presidents of Morocco and who helped Morocco to put pressure on Western Sahara and also Algeria and other countries. We have seen the spying of Morocco. And in our groups, the Greens, the European Free Alliance, we have been denouncing this since years now. We have seen how the Moroccan diplomacy is harassed in several domains like rights, fisheries and agriculture commissions. Now that all the evidences are out, it's time for action.
And the protest movements are still swamping the Moroccan territories. Several sectors have joined the streets as a result of the chaotic socio-economic situation in the country. Story by Melissa Kovash.
Excruciating living conditions for the inhabitants of Sidi Moumen, as it is the case for the entire Moroccan society, but for these inhabitants who suffer from not only poverty, but from floods that swamped their homes and threatened the security of numerous families.
لقينا والدينا هنا كانت الدنيا يعني كان في الاول كانوا احفار كيجيب بنادم حفره وكيدير فيها المجاري ديالو سميتو ولكن من بعد تفارضوا عباد الله وداروا قادوس كبير ديز من هنا ومشى خرج الواد الكبير اللي لهيه ولكن من بعد داروا مدرسه سدوا على ذاك الهونكات اللي تما كاين هذوك القوادس وهذاك دابا يبغي بنادم ينفس الماء ما كاينش من ينفس تمشي ورا المدرسه كتلقى عاوتاني حاجه اخرى تما كاين التراب وداك الشيء على الغليق وما كاينش اللي يدير في هذاك الشيء وبنادم راه شتي التكرفيصه اللي كاينه هنا الناس مشات ليها فراشها حوايجها والارض دابا اللي ساكنين فيها هابطه على البلايص اخرين فهمتي
الفراش اللي كله بشهر بقى على القطعان هو اللي بقى داك مضارب ودوك سميتو بونجات مساند هذا جا تيقول لك سير والناس جا سميتو المقدم ولقى داك الشيء واحد لقيت خرج كون جاي يدخل حتى الاثنين هذاك 3 جوان ديالو قال لك واسكي حتى الاثنين هذا باش غيجي القايد.
Moroccans are voicing their anger during these large demonstrations. Numerous sectors already joined the streets, just like the educational field. Teachers are out blaming the government for this terrible situation.
هذا هو الجواب ديالنا بصريح العبارات.
This is our answer and the clear message that there is no hope in Akhanouch nor in his cabinet.
سكن بدون سكن يعني رسالة واضحة لأبناء الشعب المغربي اللي كي عندهم آمال في هذا خنوش. راه ما كاينش امل في الحكومه، ما كاينش امل في شي برلمان، ما كاينش امل في شي منتخب، ما كاينش امل في حتى شي واحد. كيفاش هذا خنوش غير هاد جوج الناس ما قدرش يقضي لهم غرض، واحد جوج قيوش ديال المعطلين سمحوا لي بين قوسين، وجوج الناس ما لقاو ليهم 2 مترو، وجوج الناس ما لقاوش فين يخدموهم. كيفاش انه يلقى الحلول للمغرب كامل؟
واش انا قريت وتعذبت وضربت تمر وانا بنتي
I studied hard and now I can't find a job in this country.
زعما شي حاجه بسيطه يعني قرينا في الشتاء في البرد بصناد الميكا ضربوا الكيلومترات المدرسه كنا كنضربوا 7 كيلومتر باش تمشي تقرا في المدرسه وترجع فانت كونت ما نلقاش خدمه في هذه البلاد. الشيخه احسن مني، راقصه احسن مني.
Agadir is another example of the people's wrath. Political parties, trade unions and that of human rights protection are all standing side by side in organized protest movements to denounce this bleak situation.
And good news for tourists with a new flight linking Paris to Tassili Najer, a top destination for desert lovers. Story by our Paris-based correspondent Afaf Belhouchet, taken up by Ines Kilo.
A new Paris Janet flight has just been launched for the first time by the Algerian airline company and has been warmly appreciated by the happy passengers who were looking forward to this good news. I'm so glad to go to the Algerian Sahara, especially on a maiden flight like this one, direct from Paris. I didn't want to miss it. A joy also for those passengers who like warm destination during the winter times, in group or with family, who have been waiting for the inauguration of these flights to this wonderful destination. We like peace and calm, in addition to discovering new landscapes. It's the first time we do something all the family together. Discovering the Algerian desert was a dream that has come true. With this direct flight from Paris to Janet, Algerian Airlines not only benefit from an offer with high tourism potentials, but also supports the strategy of opening up decided by the country. Air Algérie has decided to promote the destination from Paris, which is part of the orientations of the President of the Republic to promote the Algerian Sahara as a tourist destination. The Algerian Airlines consolidates its position as one of the most important customers of Paris airports. At Paris Charles de Gaulle, Air Algérie is in the top 10 companies in terms of numbers of passengers, so it is really a very important client for us and a very strong partner. We are strengthening this partnership today with the opening of this new flight. This offer is the result of a partnership with ONAT, the local travel operators who have been honored by the national company that has come to Paris to accompany those travelers with the promise of an exceptional program. These new flights will upgrade tourism in the Algerian Sahara, a new adventure that has begun after launching this flight with passengers on tenterhooks to discover the great Algerian South and to unveil the mysteries of this purely tourist region.